Hi everyone, welcome to our presentation. Our trailblazer is Oprah Winfrey, and my name is Tevin McLean.
Hi guys, my name is Amber Arcadia.
Hi everyone, my name is Madison Hotchkiss.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Brisenia.
So, Oprah Winfrey is about 66 or 67. She was born in 1954 on January 29th in a rural town in Mississippi. She was raised by her teenage mother, and at that time, their relationship was very toxic. And her relationship with her mother and father and grandmother, all of which raised her at different points in her life, was filled with abuse, either emotionally, physically, or mentally. Oprah was raped when she was 9 years old by a close family member, and she experienced her first pregnancy at the age of 14 and unfortunately lost the baby in infancy. So Oprah's childhood was filled with a lot of trauma, to say the least.
So Oprah had a pretty rough childhood, as you'll see in the next slides, some more details about that. But during high school, her talents started to show and shine through. She originally attended Lincoln High School in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but she excelled in the Upward Bound program, so she quickly transferred to a more affluent school, Nicollet High School. And during her time there, she really felt the effects of poverty. She was one of the more poor kids at the school, and this would cause a lot of conflict with her mother. She would actually sometimes steal money from her mom so she could afford certain things the kids at the school could. So this conflict forced her to transfer to a different high school again, this time East Nashville High School. And at that high school, she was an honor student and part of the speech team. And her speech team was very good. They placed second in nationals, so she received lots of awards for that. And upon winning an oratory competition, she received a full scholarship to HBCU Tennessee State. Also, as you can see in the picture, she was Miss Black Tennessee at 17, so she competed in beauty pageants as well. And family members who have been asked about her success in her career today say they're not surprised because she'd always had great communication skills and great stage skills, so they're not surprised.
Oprah was abused as a child by different family members. Her grandmother would often beat her so bad this would create welts in her back. At the age of 9, she was raped by a close family member. When she moved in with her mother, she became pregnant. The mom was furious about this and sent her to live with her dad. 2 weeks later, she gave birth to a child that ended up passing away. She saw this as a second chance at life to better her whole situation. This alone allows us to see how Oprah tries to find positivity in every single negative situation. She also uses her rape story to create a stepping stone of empathy for other people. She also uses her story to allow others to feel more comfortable about talking about their sexual traumas as well.
So Oprah's journey entering journalism and entertainment. In 1971, when she was 17, she became a part-time reporter for station WVOL in Nashville, and then the next year she dropped out of Tennessee State University to become an anchor at Nashville's WTVF-TV. And then in 1978, she hosted a hit television show called People Are Talking. And then 1985, her success landed her in the film The Color Purple, and she was nominated for an Academy Award. Then the year after that, she launched The Oprah Winfrey Show up until 2011.
Oprah is one of the most accomplished African Americans, women, and just people in history, so this is by no means a complete list of her accomplishments. Her net worth is now at about $2.5 billion, so she's been extremely successful with her ventures and other businesses. She was the first African American woman to own her own production company. She founded this in 1986. It's called Harpo Productions, which is Oprah spelled backwards. It's produced a lot of popular shows such as Dr. Phil, Rachel Ray, and Dr. Oz. And Oprah herself is known for popularizing this tabloid talk show genre. As an actress, she was nominated for an Academy Award. This was for Best Supporting Actress in the movie The Color Purple, where she played a distraught housewife. Like I said, she is one of television's highest paid personalities, net worth of $2.5 billion. She also was instrumental in crafting the National Child Protection Act, which created a national database of convicted child abusers. And her role in it has coined the term the Oprah Bill because she was so instrumental in creating it. We know that Oprah is huge on education, so she's consistently supported and funded historically black colleges, and also has gone to Africa to help build schools and build up other impoverished communities.
Oprah is limitless. She inspires not just women, but she inspires men. She inspires abuse survivors. She inspires future entrepreneurs and scholars. People across every walk of life can find some kind of influence and impact from Oprah and her message. And with that being said, she knows that she has to lead by example. And so she holds herself to a very high standard and a very high regard. And she expects other people to hold her to those same standards as well and to respect her in that regard, just as she would for them. And she wants them to see not only their potential but their purpose. And that's kind of the basis of what her entire message is and her goal, and what she feels her purpose is to instill that in other people as well. So with that being said, she leads by example. She learned a very valuable lesson early on about leadership when she had 8 employees working for her, and one of them went home one day and fell asleep in their car in their garage with the car on. And they were just extremely fatigued and burned out. And Oprah learned a very valuable lesson that day. She said that she realized she couldn't expect other people to do and work for her in extenuating circumstances when she wouldn't be willing to do that herself. So that kind of shifted how she went about leading people from that point on. She knew that she had to invest in them, genuinely invest in the relationships she was forming with them, and really develop them as people as she develops herself, so that they can see their own purpose and see their own potential. And that just goes hand in hand with her distributed leadership style, as well as her servant leadership style and her transformational leadership style. She collectively kind of combined all of them and created her own pretty amazing leadership style that has great influence on organizations worldwide now.
What is transformational leadership? According to Northouse, transformational leadership is a form of leadership that changes and transforms people. It is concerned with emotions, values, ethics, and long-term goals. This type of leadership is very motivational, and it pushes people to their full potential, and it allows them to think about future goals.
So Oprah, as a transformational leader, she has a show called Oprah Winfrey Show, where she inspired millions to dream big, and then Time Magazine named her one of the most influential people 5 times. Money isn't the reason she's a transformational leader. Money's the result. She's transformed the world of media, education, entertainment, and when she speaks, people listen. Her communication skills gave her the ability to influence because she's authentic. She was able to connect with many people, and she just succeeded in a male-dominated world.
So with regard to Oprah's leadership model, I think that it comes down to 3 different components, and that's her team, her vision, and her values. When it comes to leading her team, I think the overarching message would be to know the team that you're working with, and to know your team, and to invest in them, to nurture them, and create genuine relationships with them, because in the long run, they're on your side, and they're working with you and for you. And in that regard, you have to not only invest in them so that they in turn invest in your organization and your brand, but you have to give them a sense of belonging and purpose, and actually mean it and actually believe that they have a purpose in your organization and as individuals as well. Oprah definitely doesn't just settle for just influencing them from a business standpoint, but she definitely tries to impact and inspire people genuinely across the board, as individuals, as friends, as family, and not just as her associates or colleagues. As far as maintaining your vision, Oprah believes that you should be consistent with your brand and your message so that everyone has an overall understanding of the shared goal of your organization and of your brand. And for Oprah and the team, that is to inspire and to impact. And it starts within their circle as well, and then branches out into the general society. As far as values go, I think the best way to put it is just to remember where you came from. Stay true to your morals and your values as an individual. You know, you value integrity, you value trust, which are things that Oprah definitely values. Then you use those experiences and any traumas you've had, any lessons you've learned, and you turn your wounds into wisdom, which is one of my favorite quotes from Oprah. Just reinstating the fact that, you know, what you've gone through is not just something that you can grow from, but something that can be a survival guide for someone else who may be going through the same kind of situation. Our stories can all cultivate some kind of inspiration for someone else and impact other people in different ways. And Oprah definitely believes that everyone has a purpose, and she tries to instill that in her team and on a broader spectrum, the world.
Leadership tips from Oprah. So Oprah has many words of wisdom, but I came across this article from Forbes, and the author, John Greathouse, collected all of her thoughts and grouped them into 4 categories. So the first one is fear, and to channel it, one of Oprah's goals is to live life fearlessly, and she believes that life's greatest risk is never daring to risk. The second one is failure and to refuse it. Oprah doesn't believe in failure, and she doesn't consider it failure if you enjoyed the process. The third is success, envision it. She says that being your authentic self can carry you a long way, and it's something she wished she knew when she was younger. And lastly, humility, to exude it. She says to be thankful for what you have, and you'll end up having more, because if you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never have enough.
That concludes our presentation. Thank you guys for listening, and if you guys are watching this on the discussion board, please feel free to reply with your thoughts.